Hey guys, so in today's video, I'm going to be explaining exactly what a VPN is in super simple terms. I know that a lot of people have heard about it, they may have seen an ad for it, but they don't know exactly what it is or what it does. So in this video, I'm going to break it all down. Now, in short, a VPN like this one over here, ExpressVPN, is an application. It's a little piece of software, and it can go on your computer, your phone. It can go on pretty much any device. It can even be installed as an extension in your browser or put on your router. And it primarily does two things. First of all, it gives you more security and anonymity, privacy when you're using the internet. And secondly, it allows you to access content or websites and different services that may only be available in a different country other than the one that you're physically located in. Now in this video, I'm going to be describing some of the features and things that you can do with some of the top VPNs out there like ExpressVPN, NordVPN, and Surfshark. And if you want to find out more about any of these, there will be a lot more useful information and links in the description. These aren't the only good VPNs out there, but these are the ones that I like and I recommend personally. So if you want to find out more, all of that information will be in the description. Now, getting into how this works, right? Whenever you connect up to the internet, you're relying on your internet service provider to connect you up to whichever website it is you're trying to visit. And when you do that, they can't see the information that you're sending to a website as long as the website name starts with HTTPS when you type it in your browser at the top. And there should be a little lock icon in your browser next to the HTTPS. And that means that your connection is secured and any information you send to the website cannot be seen by anyone. However, that being said, your ISP can still see a lot of information about you. They can see which websites you're visiting, how long you're visiting them for, how much you're downloading and uploading to those websites, and a bunch of other things as well. Not only that, but the websites that you eventually visit can also see information about you. This entire connection is essentially not secure. However, when you go to a VPN, let's say you go into NordVPN and you pick a location. Right here, I'm connected up to New York, and all you'd have to do is just click on one of these little nodes here. You also have a list. All three of the VPNs that I recommend have 100+ countries to connect to. When you go here and you connect up to one of these locations, what's happening is a tunnel is being formed from the VPN client. That's this right here, NordVPN in this case. You're creating a tunnel which is using your internet service provider and creating an encrypted and safe connection over the internet up to the VPN server. So right here, when I'm in NordVPN, I'm now connecting up securely to a server in New York. And it doesn't matter where in the world you are. You can be anywhere. You can be in Europe, you can be in Africa, you can be in East Asia. It doesn't matter where. You are now connecting up to a server in New York, and then from there, you're going over to the internet. And that does a lot of different things, but it can all be broken down into the two that I started with. First, you're getting more privacy because your internet service provider or any government or agency that your ISP might be passing information to can no longer see what you're doing online or which websites you're visiting. They can also no longer throttle your connection. A lot of times, if you're doing things like streaming or gaming, which require downloading a lot of data from the internet, your ISP may slow down your connection on purpose. So even though you should be getting 80 megabits per second, they'll only give you 20. But with a VPN, they can no longer see what you're doing online, so they can't throttle your connection. But on top of that, the websites that you're visiting also don't know where you're located. All they see is your location in the VPN servers. Like I said, it doesn't matter where you are in the world. All the websites that you're visiting are going to see are the server and the location that you connected to in the VPN. So that means that if I went to Netflix, I would now have access to the US content library because all Netflix sees is that I'm connected up to a server in New York. And Netflix does change the content that you can get based off of the location. So for example, very classic, if I wanted to watch Friends in the US, it wouldn't show up. You can't get Friends on the United States Netflix library. But for example, if I went over here and I went and connected to a location in the UK, let's say I connected up to London right there. Now I went back into Netflix, I will be able to access Friends because Friends is available on the Netflix library in the United Kingdom. So all you'd have to do is just refresh the page and then you would see a Friend show up right there and you'd be able to watch the show. There are just a ton of different ways that you can use this ability to make it seem as if you're somewhere else in the world when you're accessing the internet. Now, in terms of the VPNs that I recommend, I've tested out many different VPNs, and I found that these three stand out above the rest. They all have super fast speeds, a ton of different locations to connect to, and they're all super secure. They all have a verified, audited, no logs policy, meaning that they don't keep and pass on any user information. They don't even store it, so it doesn't exist. All of their servers are RAM only, meaning that it gets refreshed every time the servers are booted up. They're just not storing personal information, period. If anybody would even come and ask them for it, it wouldn't exist. Now, if you're starting out, I would recommend ExpressVPN. I think that this is the simplest and most intuitive VPN to start with. You get 105 locations to choose from, a very nice clean interface, and it is very powerful and very secure. So even if you're a more advanced user, personally, I myself use ExpressVPN on a daily basis. This is my go-to VPN and the one that I use most often. So whether you're a beginner or you're more advanced, ExpressVPN is a great fit. Now, the thing with ExpressVPN is that it is a bit simple, right? It is basically bare bones and just a very good VPN. It does, of course, come with some of the essential features of a VPN, like a kill switch and split tunneling. It has some nice protocols to choose from. More information on all of that in the reviews in the description. But if you do want something that has more features, then NordVPN is where you should go. Nord just has a ton of different features that you can choose from. They have specialty servers, add-ons like a mini antivirus. There are ways that you can use this to connect up to the Onion network through the VPN. You have data leak monitoring, so you can see if any of your information was leaked out over the internet. There are just a ton of different ways that you can use NordVPN and a ton of different features to it. So if that speaks to you, go with Nord. And if you're on a budget, but you don't want to sacrifice on quality, then go with Surfshark. In my opinion, it's very solid, but at the same time, it doesn't break the bank. So if you do want to try out any of these, there will be discount links in the description to save you a little bit of extra money, and they all have a 30-day money-back guarantee. So if you're not satisfied, all you have to do is contact customer support and request a refund, and you'll get your money back. So that's going to be it for this video, guys. Let me know in the comments if this video helped you understand what a VPN is just a bit better. Thank you so much for watching. Have an amazing day, and I'll see you in the next one.